up, like pretty early, like 4:30, 4:45, so I could get in and get some work in. Um, and Anthony's in there at that time, getting work in. And those are the things that people don't always see. Nice drag, chain wrestling right there from Christian Carroll. I think people are really excited about this young man.
I think so too. Christian Carroll, redshirt freshman from Elkhart, Indiana, by way of Oklahoma State, redshirted last year at Oklahoma State. Wrestled a lot of international competition, did really, really well. Wrestled some tough guys. Names that you'd recognize like Cassiope, Jacob Warner, Trey Munoz. Beat all those guys last year in freestyle, and so going to be a really nice addition to the team.
Yeah, and I think the most exciting thing is he's beaten Hawks already.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I'm
Exactly.
already a fan because he's been handling that already. Now we just gotta see where he ends up in the lineup and like, hey, go do that in Carver.
Yep.
Go do it at Midlands. Go do it at NCAAs, and I'm sure if those things happen, he'll really be a big time fan favorite.
Yeah, I think so as well. And then Rowan Udell, who is he's from Iowa City.
Iowa City, yep. Regina,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Okay.
He's a sophomore, and we got to see him at Nashville last year. He wrestled I think his one match that he made in the starting lineup.
Okay.
So was a red shirt in 22-23, had an 8-11 record, and then last year, he wrestled against Pittsburgh down in Nashville, and he had a 5-8 record overall. But just a tough guy, and there's a lot of tough guys, backing up at 197. We got a room full of, hard-working young men.
Yeah, and you can't. I mean, like when I think about like a Rowan, like he's a National Guard kid as well.
Mm-hmm.
So he's in the National Guard and he reports. So he's also serving. So like you think about like the character of these young people.
Yeah.
Just high-level character, young people with a desire to be a part of, something bigger than themselves. And I think that was shown just last year with how the team kind of rallied and came together. And NCAAs, and I think maybe a couple points out of second. And it's like you get excited about the possibilities of what's been created and established here, but what can continue to be built here.
Absolutely. We just a little better every year, a little better, add a little more depth, add a little more talent, and and the results are showing it. And then, as you said, the character of the young men. One of the things that I've always enjoyed back in the days when I led the Cyclone Wrestling Club, and then even today with the RTC, Coach Dresser does a great job of having a lot of social opportunities after meets and what have you. You get a chance to come out and meet these young men and actually visit with them for a little bit and learn more about them and learn more about, what, and you're just impressed.
Yes.
I'm just very impressed.
And then you get opportunities to have them for internships, like
Mm-hmm.
if you have a business, and so these young people are, not just striving for excellence, within these, cardinal and gold mats and as athletes, but just student-wise and community-wise, like there's a lot of effort being put in.
Yeah, a lot of effort being put in. And so that's good. One of the things that's exciting today in particular is look at we've seen a lot of young guys, that have wrestled really well today, and so that's good too, because not only does it bode well for this season, but bodes well for the future as they continue to develop in their careers.
Like, because, Jeff, you've been around Iowa State for, 30, 40 years?
Pretty close, yes. Yeah, I actually went to school here and graduated in 1983, so that tells you.
Well, I may need to hit you up for my job then. I'm just like, but no, it's just like you've seen the good, the bad, the ugly, and just being able to like now I think we're in a really positive place with Iowa State wrestling, and the support is there, the administration support is there, the fan support, the marketing. Nice run to the corner. Oh, you should have let that right hand go.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, all the pieces are there, and it just gets better and better. And so it's just been a lot of fun, because I mean, I've had the opportunity to see the runs. Obviously, I wasn't here yet when Gable and that whole crew and and Coach Nichols and we won the titles.
Right.
But um, we were darn good in the 80s when I was here, and maybe didn't win a national championship in the early 80s. But when I was here, and Nate Carr was in the lineup, Nate Carr Sr., and we had some really good teams, and Mike Mann, and a lot of those guys were friends of mine when I was in college, so we go way back. But and then 87 with the national championship team, and then of course Coach Douglas had a lot of teams that came really close, couldn't quite get there, and then when Cale Sanderson was leading the whole thing, so we've been there, and but the one thing I see is I think there's maybe more. The total package is there for the entire program is maybe the best I've seen it at this point in the game. I mean, Coach Nichols was on top of everything back in the day, and not to say anybody wasn't in between, but the whole program just continues to grow, and that's exciting.
Well, you just think about Iowa State athletics as a whole right now. Like it doesn't hurt when football's winning, right? Like when football's winning, there's a lot of positive things that can happen just from that. Like, and so to be 6-0 for the first time since 1938, and just you think about. Volleyball has their own facility now. Tennis has their own facility. Men's, women's basketball, they've had theirs, the Sioux Cup. But, like, there's just a lot of positive energy being poured into Iowa State athletics, Iowa State as a whole, and those things are shining with the coaches that we have, whether that's Dresser, whether that's TJ, Matt Campbell, Christy Johnson-Lidge, Coach Finley. Like, there's just a positive, I don't know, you could call it the golden era of Iowa State athletics. So
I'd agree.
It's special.
I'd be hard-pressed to find a time that was as good in as many sports. And, the other thing is we've got coaches who really want to be here.
Yeah.
You want to sit down for a minute?
No, I'm good.
I mean, they really want to be here. Matt Campbell wants to be here. He wants to build it. Obviously Coach Dresser and his crew, and Bill Finley, forever.
30 years?
Yeah, so it's just been it's tremendous. It's just tremendous. It's a great place to be, and obviously that culture sort of starts at the top with Jamie Pollard, and I've known Jamie since he first arrived here on campus because I was president of the Cyclone Wrestling Club then, and we spent quite a bit of time together that first season. Just a tremendous supporter. Really nice win. Looks like,